Hi, I'm Aelita Archbold, a teacher, educator, and the creator of innovative leadership program for children, A+ Smart Little Leaders. And today I will talk about how from your child do you raise a leader. There is a common belief that you can't become a leader unless you are born as a leader. I disagree with this statement. There are children who are born leaders, and there are children who become leaders. Being a mother of 3 sons, I can prove to you that any child can have a set of leadership skills and become a leader. When a child is born, every child is very active, happy, outgoing, unless the child is sick. As the child grows, little by little, child seeds in his subconscious and conscious mind set of negative statements about himself that he or she hears from his family, siblings, their peers, and child care providers. A few weeks ago, I visited my son and uncle in Florida. One day we went to the beach. While we were in the beach, we saw a very cute turtle. It was very bravely moving on the sand toward the sidewalk. I turned on my phone and started recording. And the family with 3 children came over to see the turtle. The little one looked like 7-year-old, and he had 2 sisters, apparently 4 or 6 years older. When little boy got excited and said, "This little turtle likes to eat grass." And eventually a turtle was busy eating the grass. One of his sisters said, "What do you know about turtles?" "You know nothing. Ha 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 ha." You got it. Here's a good example, right? Siblings. Seeding negative statements. When a child enters a conscious age, this is the age when a child remembers himself. It's 5, 6 years old. Some kids early remember, some kids later. As you probably know, that main character and personality forms by the age of 7. However, it changes over a lifetime, more or less. What do you do if your child by the age of 7 forms in his or her head negative statements about himself or herself? The self-confidence and self-esteem in this child drops down, and it's very hard for that child to become a leader. As a parent, you have to watch what you are saying to your child, his or her siblings, friends, his or her peers, childcare providers, teachers, and anyone else. I'm talking about any negative statements. It's good to have a great communication with your child, that this way your child will not hide it from you. And when you can get together and talk about your child's day, what has happened in the child care, what happened in the school, and you can figure out when your child is in a bad mood coming from child care or from the preschool, and when you're asking your child a question, "What happened today? You look sad," you can find out that person said something negative and it made your child sad, and seeded negative statement in his conscious and subconscious mind, and eventually affected his self-confidence. And over time, if you see that your child has low self-confidence and self-esteem, It's your responsibility to fix it as soon as possible. In order for your child to be successful in life, it's very important to build your child's self-confidence and self-esteem. And everything else will follow. What is self-confidence? Simply saying, self-confidence is a belief in yourself and your abilities. And the self-esteem, it's what you are feeling about it. How beautiful you are, how smart you are, how creative you are, how fast you are, how obedient you are. Before starting rebuild self-confidence and self-esteem in your child, you have to figure out why your child has low self-confidence. What is the cause? And for that, I would suggest you take a piece of paper. Yeah, you can type on the computer. However, when you're writing with your hand, it has different effect. It's much more productive because it goes directly to your subconscious and it's more effective. So take a piece of paper and write it down. The names of the people who over a time said something negative to your child. When you will figure out with your child who are these people, I hope it's not you. When you will know the names, then write down against each name what are the negative statements are. Who said something negative to your child? It's very important how destructive those negative statements. And this would be the list of negative statements that you will want to avoid. You will have to train yourself. Do not say something harsh to your child. Yes, you can say no in a different ways. You don't say your child if he made a mistake, oh, you stupid, you're good for nothing. So you can say in different way. You can say, well, you made mistake this time and you're learning from this mistake, and the next time you will do just fine. Instead of putting him down, you encourage that next time your child will be fine. I want to show you 3 negative statements that you want to avoid, and talk with your family members. Make sure they also will be aware of it and they also will not say anything of such nature to your child. For example, negative statement number 1. It's a comparison with the siblings, comparison with other children, and I can say from my own experience it's the most painful for a little child when you as a parent, you don't see what great things your child does, and you see only negative things, and you say, Peter plays piano so nice, so great, and you know that your child plays piano, but you wouldn't say anything about your child, so your child will feel like he's not good enough, he's not a good piano player, that Peter is great, he's playing so good, his technique is great, his musicality is great, and your son is not good enough. You don't say that, because this negative statement will go in his subconscious mind and it will bring down his, or if you have a daughter, your self-confidence and self-esteem, as well as comparison with other siblings. It's very common among parents to do that. The negative statement number 2, deprecation. It's when you're putting down your child by saying, look at you, what do? You made your clothes dirty, you look like such and such. And it can have different variations. and it can be about anything. It's all understandable when you stay with your child during the whole day and you have 3 children and they are very active, 4 children, 5 children, even 2 children, and sometimes 1 children is just enough. When child is hyperactive and mother get tired and says what shouldn't say. And the negative statement number 3, overprotecting or careless about child. When parents are overprotective or careless about their children, both things are not good. It can have negative influence in the future life and influence on the self-confidence and self-esteem. And this is valuable information that I want to share with you right now, is that when a child becomes an adult, low self-esteem can manifest in 2 different ways, in a constructive way or a destructive way. Let's see the constructive way. Constructive way is a very low percentage. In this situation, according to the well-known psychotherapist, Austrian psychotherapist Alfred Adler, he's a founder of individual psychology, the hypercompensatory personality function gets activated, and this is great. For example, let's talk about people, historical figures that you all know. For example, Napoleon. He was very short, but he compensated his short height through his military wins. Marilyn Monroe. She suffered from a very low self-esteem, and she compensated through her fabulous movie roles and her sexuality. Many great achievements built on a low self-esteem and a low self-confidence foundation. From one side, it can be very great. As I just mentioned before, your child will go in a great extent to impress you, mother or father, to say, look mama, or look papa, look what I did, look what I created. I own this huge network, I own this huge company with thousands of employees. Please say that I'm great. He is worth praising. He is not that little stupid boy that you used to call him when he or if a daughter, she was a child. He's a great, he becomes so big, and all these achievements are built on a low self-confidence and low self-esteem. However, in life, any major problems such as divorce, bankruptcy, sickness, betrayal of a family member will immediately bring your child to the childhood belief. I am nothing. I am nobody. And then that child, already adult, has to go to his or her psychotherapist and start all over again, start to build his or her self-confidence. And it will take a lot more time to recover for a person with low self-confidence than for a person who had high self-confidence. And the life for that person would be the constant fight to prove himself, to prove his parents, to prove the world that I'm worth, I can make it, I am somebody. Before I came to America from Belarus. I have been told that I will never be able to come here to America at such young age. It was impossible. They were right, it was almost impossible. However, even though I had low self-confidence and low self-esteem at that time, this pushed me to believe that in spite of all difficulties, I will be able to make that God, myself, that invisible power will help me to push through my plans to come to America. And impossible happened. Impossible became possible. When I came here and I called to my friends and I said, look, I'm here in America, they were very, very surprised that I was able to do that. But I know why I was able to do that. Because on my low self-confidence foundation, I had a strong belief and faith all the way to the end. Let's see the destructive way. What happens with other people who have low self-confidence? They get consumed by their fears, which are many. And because of their fears and lack of belief in themselves, they never ask for more pay. They never look for a better job. They are afraid to ask to the girl they like. They follow the fears and achieve very little in their life. They prefer just to float and don't push through, and lack motivation and persistence. If on social media you often see negative comments, and now perhaps after watching my video, you will react less negatively after reading those negative comments. Of course, is it worth reading, first of all? But anyway, if you are reading and you were reading before, I was getting upset, oh, those people are horrible, how they can say such bad things. Now I can tell you that happy, self-confident person never will leave nasty comments. People who inside have low self-confidence, low self-esteem will leave such negative comments. This is their way of self-assertion over other people. People who have low self-confidence actually can become dictators, and this is really scary. They would feel good when they will put down their employees, boss them around, humiliate them, mistreat family members, and worst of all, this will make them feel good. This way they will get compensated for their childhood humiliation. You told me that I wasn't good, that I was bad. No, I'm good. This is you not good. You all not good. Only I am good. And it makes me feeling good when I'm humiliating you. Because this way, that person is compensating over his or her childhood negative experiences and low self-confidence. Look at the example of Adolf Hitler. As a child, he was often sick and his mother was overprotective him. Remember I told you overprotective or careless, right? Overprotective over him. However, his father was abusive, and look what we got. He became one of the world's most terrible dictators. Now, when you learned enough about what is self-confidence, self-esteem, what is causing low self-confidence and self-esteem? How do you improve over time these very valuable qualities of a leader? I will share with you in my next video techniques that will help your child to restore low self-confidence and low self-esteem. Let's work together and rebuilding your child's low self-confidence and self-esteem, that your child can have a productive, confident, and successful life. Schedule with me consultations on Zoom. Live alone, stay strong, be confident. Until next time.